So the first step is to check the oxygen saturation of your patient to determine whether he is hypoxic or not. This is of particular importance if your patient is acidotic. If your patient is acidotic and also hypoxic, this is usually respiratory failure type 2 because the muscles are not working well, like COPD or neuromuscular disorders. He is having a problem with chest movement with the ventilation. While type 1 is a mismatch between ventilation and perfusion, like something is related to deep inside in the alveoli, something deep inside in the bronchioles, like pneumonia or pulmonary embolism. The second step is to check the pH. Is it acidic or alkalemic? And write it down in your exam to keep it in front of your eyes. This is going to make things very easy for you as I'm going to show you. The third step is to check the PCO2, and this is the respiratory component of the APG. You are going to know if you are having respiratory alkalosis or acidosis. And of course, we are going to match this with the pH. So the first step is very important. The second step to determine the pH, and I'm now going to match the results of the PCO2 and the bicarb with the pH. So the next one would be checking the HSCO3 or the bicarb. And again, I'm trying to determine if this is respiratory problem or metabolic problem. Now let's combine all together and see how we are going to match the results all together. As we agreed before, we are going to see if we are having hypoxia or not. And yeah, I'm having hypoxia here, and the pH is acidotic. I'm going to write down acidosis. Then I'm going to find if it's respiratory or metabolic. I'm going to start with the PCO2 first. So the PCO2 here is high, so I'm going to say until proven otherwise that this is respiratory. Then I'm going to see if bicarb is deranged or normal. If the bicarb here is almost normal, so this is respiratory acidosis. I'm going to check more from my anion gap. If the anion gap is also normal, so this is definitely respiratory acidosis, and it's also affecting the oxygen saturation of this patient. The idea that the bicarb is normal, that means that it is uncompensated until now. The kidney has not worked efficiently yet to make the pH coming to normal again. So we are calling this respiratory acidosis uncompensated. I write down my findings. It is acidosis, but low PCO2 means alkalosis, and low bicarb mean acidosis. So which one matches the pH? Yes, the metabolic component. And I have something to tell me that I'm on the right way, I'm on the right diagnosis. This would be the base excess. The base excess here is -4, and this is very huge. So this is like confirming the metabolic part or the metabolic reason why this patient is acidotic. The normal base excess is between -2 to +2. So if I'm having a base excess below -2, this would be metabolic acidosis. And if I'm having a base excess above +2, this would be metabolic alkalosis. Okay, so now I'm asking myself a question. If the bicarb is the reason why I'm having acidosis here, why the PCO2 is also deranged? That means that the lung are working by somehow to make the pH coming to normal again. This is what we call compensation. And compensation here, is it partial or complete? Look at the pH. The pH is still not normal. So when the pH is still not normal, this is partial compensation. The lung, yes, is trying to make it right, but it's not enough that the pH is coming to normal. If the pH comes to normal, now we can say that this is fully compensated metabolic acidosis. Cases of fully compensated acidosis or alkalosis are not easy to diagnose, by the way. You are going to find normal pH, but the PCO2 is deranged and the HCO3 is deranged also. So now you are going to think, what happened first? Is it the respiratory part or the metabolic part? This is going to need some work from your direction, and you are going to do what's called an ion gap calculation and delta gap calculation to see what happened first. This is going to help you. An ion gap is going to show you if this is a metabolic acidosis or alkalosis, of course, and then you are going to confirm it with the delta gap calculation. Usually in the exam, they are not going to bring a case such like this one, because it's very hard to calculate and you are going to need some numbers. So in the exam, you are going to have an easy forward cases like acidosis, alkalosis, whether it's respiratory or metabolic. And if it's compensated, it's going to be partially compensated, as we mentioned before. If you find this video is efficient and beneficial for you, please share it with your friends and try to subscribe to our channel to get any new videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.